Both teams are actually very good at it. As Dan said, I'm going to try not to.
Try not to what, Lourdes?
Try not to say the exact same thing that Dan said, because you covered everything pretty nicely. But there's a lot of 4-1-ing that happens. There is a lot of happy lurking that gets exploited on this map. And here in the pistol, it's a straight up upstairs take, which can work. There's not a lot of utility to stop it. Sometimes you need 2 Molotovs to stop people coming out of Squeaky. Try that on a pistol. You can't.
Yeah, this is definitely way stronger, isn't it? In this new Nuke, just like running it upper with the pistols, because you can't do as much from the CT perspective. Like going through hut feels a lot safer. It's bigger, it's wider. It's you don't have to worry about getting popped from that window. The positions on upper, especially with the USP, it's very like that angle. Getting headshots from the elevated angle with the USP against the Glocks coming in is actually kind of awkward and a bit difficult. So if you can get out there fast, and maybe all that you need is one flash from the T roof to do that, it's really, really strong.
Super strong indeed.
Super duper strong.
Super sharp shooter. Good garage song. Super sharp shooter, shooter sharp.
I agree. Ooh, nice. One more and another one.
And another one.
Was that close?
This is my legacy.
Was that close? I should probably
You're
listen
good enough
to
for a white guy, to be honest.
I have to listen to what it sounds like, so that would help, I guess. And another one.
I'm surprised. I think if you heard it, you would know.
Oh.
Just Biggie Smalls. I would presume you are familiar with Monsieur Smalls.
Do 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 do.
I wonder if you went to like a posh, French restaurant, to be like, Monsieur Smalls? Would you like that wine? I don't know. The wine, Monsieur Smalls. Sorry. Mixwell is the last man standing now. And he's the last man to fall in this round. Envy with a successful second round here on Nuke with the pistols.
I'm just imagining that whole sketch now. It's like Biggie Smalls goes to the really overly fancy French restaurants. So the waiter just talking to him.
But is that the punchline?
Monsieur Smalls.
The short's good.
It is strange your name is Smalls when you are so very large.
Oh no.
I love it when French people talking about the beach. Because they're like, I'm going to the beach.
Yeah.
Find
Same
it
in
very
Eastern Europe. In Eastern Europe as well. That's how it. So many of the dialects, accents out there.
Picnic on the beach.
It's the same.
Well then, this is not really going the way that Envy had planned. Happy has some sound informations. Oh, vandalism.
Reminds me of the old days. The good old days.
It's like being back in London already.
When my mom fed me prison food.
Fed you what?
Prison food.
Prison food.
You don't remember anything that you say.
I never said my mother fed me prison food.
You did.
That is a lie.
You said that's what she gave me at home. It was like
potato. No, specifically potatoes.
Yeah.
Because she was very bad at making potatoes. So it was like when it was potato time, might as well have been prison time.
Exactly.
James,
they were dry.
it's potato time.
They were dry and just bad. RPK is searching. This is a fun duel. Is the bomb going to be planted? Ooh. In the meantime, not required. Mixwell will finish off the job.
Nice.
It's a small part of the culinary spectrum, Launders.
Potatoes?
At my house, yeah. The potatoes were super bad. Cabbage wasn't very much better. The rest of it was alright.
Did you ever tell her?
Slash good. I didn't tell her that her potatoes were as good as prison potatoes, no.
You're a good son.
I didn't want to get slapped in my face.
This is looking quite interesting. ENVYUS looking to just trade force fires back and forth, but maybe G2 are going to get the edge they need. Oh my god, the Deagles in this game so far! Oh, great! Another one! And another one! And now it's 2 players for ENVYUS who remain to deal with Mixwell and his shenanigans. And he's going to be able to bring about the 1v1, give G2 a chance to stop the embarrassments.
Just barely missing Mixwell. Maybe he would have been in distance to hear him running too. But at this point, it's just got to wait for the plant. Thing about Nuke is that this vent creates an easy rotation, and especially when someone's planning downstairs in a 1v1, it's not that difficult to get into the vent because you know that it would be really strange for them to be there, but he's taking his time and actually doesn't realize that it's lower, so awkward.
Fun, fun, fun. Everybody likes some Nuke.
Oh
Oh, Mixwell
God.
didn't know he was above. Oh, that's just bad. Well, that is a clip for Nuke if ever I saw one.
Wow.
Happy thought it was upstairs. Mixwell thought Happy was downstairs. That is just quite the cluster, isn't it?
Nice.
From across the room. No way.
Christ, that was awkward. How do you give a clue in a headphone that something is downstairs? Where's the solution to that? Oh, look at all these stickers.
Yeah, it's floating around.
Go TV bugs.
RBK. Infer.
That's how he plays. Stickers in the face. Peter 50 bullets in your face. And GT will convert. So this is it's crazy because we had so many awesome 1-deeks just for both teams that this could just as easily be a 4-1 for ENVYUS. Unfortunately for them, this is probably one of the first maps where they don't have the good start. Actually, I think they've had the good start in every other map they played today. It feels like against FaZe, against GT on the map 1 as well.
Yeah, it was like 5-0 every single map.
So finally, they are on the receiving end. A taste of their own medicine. Tastes very bitter. Bitter.
That's pretty huge. They caused a lot of hysteria upstairs, so I think they're very lucky to have killed Mixwell. But they knew exactly what G2 were trying to do.
Seems Apex has an idea as well what Haji's trying to do, and he will punish him accordingly. 4-4 now. We've made 20 on the clock here for the T side to try and find some more progress. Kenny looking everywhere, fighting RPK eventually, but it's Body who gets the kill. And another exchange, Body down to 12 HP before that exchange. Now he's trying to sell something, trying to pull people out of position, and with that he'll be successful. Kishima, unbeknownst to him, he has been led into a trap. Oh! Oh! Kiyashima!
And another one.
That sounds so weird. You're somehow becoming more and more like Mr. Rogers than Biggie Smalls.
Here's Mr. Rogers.
Host of a kids TV show. Never heard of him. Wow, that's surprising.
Actually, no, I've seen a clip from that, but we didn't have that in the UK. I think strictly an American thing.
You did miss out. You missed nothing.
Mixwell straight in there, straight through the door, straight looking for more. Fortunately for him, the action is slow. RPK is handling everything incredibly well. 1 and 2, but the 3 will go to G2 as they manage to make themselves an upper plant position, but the bomb is lost. No cover from the upper area. Haji raining death and destruction from the heaven position as Kenny has traced back, and that's a close one, but it's not good enough. And ENVYUS are straight back in it. They've got 3 rounds now, and G2's money is worse for wear. They really would have liked a bomb plant there to help them out in this round, but unfortunately not the case.
I wonder if just throwing their nades when they got out of Squeaky into Mini, flashing Heaven, or mollying out Heaven and getting in the site would have been the end of the round. It seemed pretty simple once they got those first kills. They only went 1 for 1. They were close.
Yeah, it was very close. Scream trying to tap, but he will be the one that's tapped out. No referee to stop that. Pretty violent stuff here from GT. They'll get the bomb down on the lower sides in the chaos. MBK just still running around, and that is another great frag from him. Oh man, he's demolishing these players. This is really nice to see the flow from NBK at the moment. Happy not having quite as much luck And G2 will win a force buy. Let's run back those MBK frags. Those were delicious.
I think that was MBK's last bullet on the 3rd kill in heaven.
Oh, really?
It looked like it was an instant reload, so maybe.
About to find out.
I don't think it was.
No?
I don't think he instantly reloaded.
Oh, there's no...
No
I can't see aiming,
replay.
but I guess no replay.
Your word is as good as mine.
About to find out that... Ah, I see. Never mind. Okay, so GT just running over to ENVYUS at the moment. Hello. Okay, well. It's your favorite kind of round, James.
Fast one.
A fast one.
A brief eco round. Let's get on with it. Let's get it out of the way. Get it out, get it out. Like a spider in a girl's shower.
I like spiders.
So
we
do I.
have, we have a mutually beneficial relationship. I provide housing, and they kill all the insects.
I had a spider above my shower and just left it there. It's like, hey man, I would say hello to it when I got in the shower.
Yeah, yeah.
How you doing? Ding dong.
This is a violent game.
Yeah, French nuke, who knew?
Counter-Strike.
French teams on nuke, Launders.
French teams on Nuke.
French
That's
teams.
a new meme for it.
But specifically in a derby against each other. But G2 versus Envy is often a weird match.
Yeah.
Which is why I said earlier that I was glad we weren't seeing Cash, because last time I recall watching these two play each other on Cash, it was one of the most bizarre games of Counter-Strike I've
Oh
ever
my
seen.
god.
Why?
This is awesome to look over the hut, maybe. Yeah. Oh, that's so cool.
Oh.
I
Look over the
respect
hut.
that Dan is trying to... maybe there's some logic to it.
That looked...
Whoa.
I want to see... That was really cool. Because if that's the thing...
What was he trying? What do you think he was trying to see heaven?
I think he's trying to look into heaven, yeah. I really believe that.
I think
hear
he's
the
like,
conviction in your voice.
let me stand on your head, Kenny. This is fun. I'm on your head.
We made
That's what I
land.
think.
We made land.
Yeah.
We're the best seed we can get. Haha.
That's what I think.
That would have been cool. I just wonder if they wanted to, why didn't they just boost after they got out? Why do they need to walk through crouch?
Ouch. First frag to G2, potentially making it to round number 8. Looks pretty good to me.
So Launders, the sparrow does not ask the eagle how he flies.
Who's the sparrow?
Guess that'd be you in this instance. G2 are soaring, they're up there. They are beyond our mere logic. They know things we do not. That is like a really eloquent quote, but I think I butchered the delivery of that. I don't know how. I got like the crux of it, but I forget how it goes together. I'll find out. I'll find out at some point. Oh, hello. Oh dear. It's all gone wrong. It's all gone wrong. Apex will take down screen though.
They want this hate.
Spooky action at a distance. Just throwing random quotes in there now. Just unrelated. Get a bit of Einstein in there. Everyone loves a bit of Einstein. Actually doing his best to be an intelligent human there. Able to get the frag, falls back, repositions with the AK.
It's a very whistly map too.
Yeah. What do you know about quantum entanglement, Launders?
I know about quantum entanglement.
Nice.
Quantum entanglement.
Yeah.
Can you get quantum entanglement while scuba diving?
Well,
When I wreck dive, I have two knives to avoid entanglement. But quantum entanglement, who knows? Maybe that's all your limbs at the same time.
we can go into it in a moment because Haji, well, he's sorely out of position, and this is not 1.6. Otherwise, he could easily kill the guy planting right now. Shoot through the ceiling.
I feel like you could do that on the previous nuke as well before they made changes to
You
it.
can,
Could you?
yeah. You can
Really?
also defuse through the floor.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice.
Even better.
That's so ridiculous.
You could boost. I think you could boost someone right, and they could just diffuse through the floor.
Yeah. Above the control
It's
windows.
Amazing.
James, do you want me to really
James is
quickly
in,
explain quantum entanglement?
Go for it.
James is in superposition with someone scuba diving right now in another universe. You're scuba diving right now, James.
Hope I'm not throwing up again.
What? In your suit?
In Aruba, I threw up under the water. In Cancun, no, in Cozumel, I threw up the day afterwards, all day. And I think I threw up in Turks and Caicos as well, on the side of the boat. And on the ropes which they have to pull up in Poland. So yeah.
You're making it a
The
ritual.
last 3 times I went scuba diving, I threw up. At
Any
some point
reason?
or other. One, my mask was foggy, which caused nausea. One, I had some kind of weird food poisoning thing. The other one, I was extremely nauseous because the boat was almost in a storm. Rocking all over the place. Need those anti-nausea pills. Ooh, maybe Kishima needs some pills to quell that pain. 4 on 4 now. As ENVY tried to stop the momentum of G2. It's been a brutal start to many a round. Mixwell trying to flick. Meanwhile, MBK will take Happy out of this round. Still plenty of time for G2, and they've got the man advantage.
Yeah, looking pretty awesome now that they can get fast control of the lower site, and there's no one really in any tricky positions as far as the CTs are concerned. You can see that they've basically been out-rotated by G2, which is really a sore state of affairs because rotations on this map for CTs are really good, but it just goes to show that the kinds of frags G2 got prevented that from happening. And ENVYUS are likely to try to find a way to hold on to what they have here. I don't know that they can really go for this, considering the positioning, but they may try to... Okay, it looks, yeah, like they are playing safe here.
They had them locked because they put pressure on upper and they felt like they couldn't just drop through the vents quickly.
So I can explain to you what quantum entanglement is, James.
Go for it.
So it is essentially when you have like, there's a group of particles, and if you separate some of the particles from that group, and even if it's separate, they're separated by an enormous distance, it can be like light years or something like that, they won't act independently. If you change one side, you know, one that's on one side, and like the ones which are light years away will also change instantaneously. So that's actually again, that's an incredibly crude explanation, but that's basically the basis of sort of quantum computing and like how that works.
So just ignores all the laws of physics and gravity. And
yeah,
everything.
it's like with I think it's with electrons. You actually can't even they're basically nowhere and everywhere at the same time, like from a quantum perspective. So
we're still figuring stuff out right now.
Yeah, trying to work this out.
Learning that we have more to learn.
Actually, there's a really brilliant quote there, but we'll go into that in a moment. Hachi will take down a body. Body has been laid to rest. Scream will be aggressive in the yard. So this is actually an incredibly quick win here for ENVYUS in this round, it would seem, unless somehow Mixwell and MBK can bring it back. But you can see the positioning of RPK is fantastic over the smoke. But yeah, so this, I love this quote, right? This is a great quote. So I believe it's from Richard Feynman. He said that the universe has no obligation to make sense to you, which I think is a beautiful quote, because he was referring to quantum physics, but actually in reality it really is very like epistemologically relevant as well about everything. So yeah, now I got too serious. So Jay's make a funny joke. Talk about jam.
Spread it like jam.
So we can cut the tension here.
Tension.
Cut the tension with jam.
Richard Feynman, data experts. He was not a fan.
ENVY are going to get a 4th round on the board here. BK's like, where did I come from? Spot of reloading. And there it is. Let's see what the money is like. Okay, well, Kenny has a mere $12,400.
Might as well save.
He's got 12.5 bags. Double snipers.
I'd say bands too.
You what?
Bands.
Bands?
Yeah.
Ban? What do you mean bands?
Bands instead of 1,000. I'd say got 12 bands. Bands, racks, bags.
What is
Bands.
what does that
It's a
mean?
rubber band.
Bands.
Bands.
Yeah.
Oh.
So
Bands.
it's B-A-N-S, your Canadian accent. Is don't know what to do with it. Oh! A boot.
Oh my god, they got slapped to boot the head.
5 rounds for ENVY on their CT side. Probably expected more, but only RPK with more than 10 frags. RPK. Do you wonder what the French scene will look like in the next few months?
I think Kenny S is going with Smith's existence, Shocks, and then they need a fifth. Yeah, Zywoo maybe. That'd be cool.
Wow. Okay, that would be interesting. That'd be really interesting. Pop, 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 pop. Nothing. Oh, oh wow! Apex gets the most unlikely of connections there. ENVYUS go down lower. That's what they want, at least. Perhaps they could still go to heaven, but you see MBK's already given up the position and has rotated. Wow. Wow, wow, wow. Kiyoshima owning these positions. These are supposed to be spots that buy time because they're so hard to actually frag players in those positions, but Kiyoshima gets it done immediately. Still a chance, though. Okay, maybe not now. Kiyoshima has had enough of this pistol round, and he will take 4 kills. My goodness. Gracious me.
That's an important development for Envy, winning that pistol round. Let's see what I can do with it. Round number 6. Can they avoid the Forceru from G2?
Forceru.
3 Desert Eagles, 2 CZ 7F highs. Only Mixol with a smoke grenade. No defuse kit. Apex down early. Mixol trying to punish a reload perhaps, but Kishima's ready for it. And it seems this will not be successful at all for G2, this forced buy round. Which means the comeback train for Envy will continue. The wheels will continue to turn.
Do you guys like the scout on T-side Anticos?
General?
I only ask just because I personally get worried about having a scout on a T-side Antico.
I think it depends how you play the rounds. I think, for example, if it's with the team, moving with the team and doing stuff with the team, then I think it's fine. But I think it's not fine if it's too independent. Potentially, I don't know. Like,
I'd rather have a Galil, I think.
Yeah.
I mean, if you don't have the money for that, well, you should, because the round win bonus should give you like 30 something. So you should always have the money for a Galil. So I would not buy a scout on a T side. I'm trying to go through the maps. I mean, maybe on a Dust 2, maybe. But beyond that, I will prefer the Galil all day.
Also, considering it's Scream, it's a bit strange to see him opt to go for that instead of a rifle. But
yeah, scout on Nuke is somewhat bizarre. Well, I mean, you have to go outside, obviously. Especially against the force buy, I feel like you're probably going to need more than 1 shot. And against the force buy, how many shots are you necessarily going to get? I feel like pick up the Galil.
Will he upgrade? That's the big question. I feel like he should, because then he'd have 3 AKs. That'd be not so bad. Okay. Yeah, and he's still got lots of money left over. So, Envy did a fine job on their anti-ecos. They move into the first rifle of the second half. Pretty good guns.
I'm glad Apex supported the mission there at the beginning. Regardless of not getting any kills, I think it was a good decision. All of a sudden, Scream is alone. He has the bomb. He has plenty of time. Does he have plenty of opportunity, though? 1 versus 3. Going on a journey outside. CTs could be anywhere. Could it have off angles in garage? Does he go towards main? Maybe not. Although, in this situation, based on what happened around A, where does he envisage these CTs being? 1 player on the hut. Straight in the face.
That was nothing short of instant. It's tough if someone's on top of hut watching you. They have a distinct advantage. They get to see your feet first. So it looks like they have mind-bendingly fast reaction time. And also, wow, he was spotted earlier too. This is a much more firm lead now, but NV still have the money to buy and a little bit in the reserves. Upper rush is cancelled due to fire.
Also shotgun awaits. NV. Look at that. Nice and close. It's a great flick from Kenny. And bomb appears to be on the floor. It appears to be stuck in the A site. Now Kenny can bait for body. and take the kill anyway. He gives nothing away, Kenny. One player jumping down into the main position. That's Haji, losing half his life on the way. You see there's a CT by the CT vent. That's Kenny now. So at some point, someone's going to have to focus on the high ground, the heaven area. And he spots Happy.
Nice.
But where is Haji?
Ooh, what a good position to be in. Approaching from heaven and catches the unawares body. Makes it on the low grounds. In a pretty good spot though. I mean, he can win the 1v1 against Haji. Then he has a chance. But which player peaks first? Ah, oh, Happy. Great headshot there from him. He had a beautiful round. An absolute game on our hands, especially considering sort of the aggressions between the two teams and how everyone seems to be sort of fired up in one way or another. It's very cool to see.
Yeah, the economy has been ripped from their hands. They have between $1,400 and $2,100. And that was not a round that it looked like G2 were going to lose. They had everything going for them. 2 of the first opening kills looked clean. Lots of utility left over. They called out that it was going to be an upper hit. Now with the eco, or actually the force up, they don't want to give that up. The fact that they lost last round, they spent a lot here.
Jiggle, jiggle. Wiggle, wiggle. Like Shaq and the Cats. So far, so good for Envy in this round. Apex here's event being broken. NBK unlucky there. He gave the Deagle good patience, but he was not rewarded. The gods were unkind.
I just realized that you referenced a GIF.
Yes. Apparently you made an Office reference earlier, but the American Office, which I have not seen. I am a man of the UK Office, the original.
They're both great.
Just thinking of that dance now.
Jiggle, jiggle.
Dance. No, the one in the Office.
What reference did I make? I don't remember today.
I don't know.
Okay.
Whatever it was, I did not understand. Double figures for Envy. Do you envy the double figures? G2 won't, because they are 1 round ahead.
Can they buy here? No.
Samurai face. The little cut above one of the G2 eyes just reminds me of Final Fantasy. I feel like there's almost always, I know, was it Squall had the cut on his eye? The cool dude cut. Yeah, the dude's cool.
I never really played Final Fantasy. I think I played a little bit of Final Fantasy 7 when I was younger. And then the only thing I know about it was all of the stuff that was in Kingdom Hearts. Have you played that game?
No.
Okay.
I played 7, 8, 9, and 10, and then 10 I got bored of learning a new system every time, and I went and played number 1.
I think you got out at the right time, right? Because then it went into the whole
yeah, I think I
super
did.
graphics.
Yeah, I played Final Fantasy 1 on my iPhone, which was thoroughly enjoyable.
Whoa.
And then Final Fantasy 2 kept crashing because I want to play the earlier ones. I think I have... The Game Boy Advance has... I think it has like 1, 2, 3, not 4, but 5 and 6, something like that, which is kind of weird. But it just doesn't... There's just one of them that just doesn't exist on the Game Boy Advance, but... I will play the rest eventually. I actually bought the other ones while I was here because it kept crashing on my iPhone. So I couldn't use it on that. So I bought them from some place in Burbank.
I've got to activate my retro game playing capabilities. Like Happy and his lurks.
Game Boy Advance is the one.
They were ready for this lower hit. They were very ready.
Apex has a beautiful last name. Well then, imagine, what if he clutched? What if he clutched? That would have been fun.
How do you pronounce that? Matisclair?
I would assume so.
What do you like about it?
Just looks pretty, doesn't it?
It is nice.
Looks like the name of a flower.
It's very original.
It's a nice French name. $11 rounds aside. 11 rounds per team. Who's going to take this? Do you favour a team right now, Lawrence?
G2's Nuke is really good, but so is ENVYUS, and I think that this comes down to who's got better players, so I'd say G2. That's what I'd say. But on this round, G2 have no kits, so they better frag out. NBK unable to fall.
Gets there eventually. Say funky double peek. Oh, interesting. I like it. NBK thinks he isn't going to be able to fall all the way back into a safe spot in the site, so he suggests he's falling back, gets an extra kill, then dies on his sword. I respect it. RBK. Oh, that's beautiful. But it's just the beginning. A minute on the clock, 1 versus 3. The risk, the prospect of minimal loss bonus for Envy is not favorable, not palatable.
1v3 is becoming increasingly rare these days. As teams and players get more careful. But it still happens. That was a big kind of gamble he took there, just hoping the first kills, somebody waiting in vents. But since there was no one to offer it up, you couldn't really get more tricky than that. And yeah, that was cool. Finding 2 ways to find fights.
Yeah, and he tries to wide peek as well, expecting people to be looking towards the ramp. So lots of very small decisions being made there by NBK. And you can see his thinking as he starts and stops and moves around, which is always fun. Always fun to communicate to an audience.
The all-powerful waiting in vents with your knife out to make sure no one can drop.
A collision is heard. Apex can sell his teammates and Mixwell will spray. Kenny's taken down outside. Kenny has been a treat in these last few days. All right, how's this one going to play out?
It's going to come down to radar. Never mind. No one looks.
Bomb to be collected now in a 2 versus 2. Apex though stops a B push. That's what is known. What is known, what is unknown. Has NB been seen outside? Maybe it doesn't matter anymore because Kiyashima knows Apex was downstairs. He could keep an eye on the vents. Awareness. Marvelous stuff. G2 now suffering the reset.
Yeah, they are, and they have. ENVYUS have a lot of money. They have nearly 20k in the bank. They're gonna upgrade and still have a lot of that left over. And G2 are opting to buy. Oh man, it's down to 0. So they could, buy again once at 14. But they certainly are only buying here because they really want to steal us back. I don't see a lot of value in this, but they're going for the win.
Yeah, this is a curious one. But I mean, either way, eco or otherwise, this is a really strong position for Envy to be in for obvious reasons. Breaking the seat economy this late into the game is promising for a team who really need the points. Really need the points. Envy must avoid the relegation area. Okay, creeping. Just the one shot to Haji. Okay. Auto shotgun, close quarters all day. CQC. Ooh. Trying to deliver more meat shots, but now the big weapons are taken away. Apex though has collected an AK-47, as has Mixwell. It looks so good. Now it doesn't look good at all. Envy capitulates in a very strong position.
That's tragic. That is so tragic. What are these shots? Just 2 one-shots, 100 HP. Down, down. 1,800 bucks. And
I love the sound of a shotgun in the morning.
Yeah. Do you ever just go on your balcony in the morning and shoot off a round into the sky? Like
yeah, but sometimes pumping a pump shotgun, an empty one, just sounds amazing. Watched too many 80s and 90s movies for it not to sound just generally awesome. Defending the A-bomb site is Mixwell, but he's taking some damage from screen. The trades continue. Bomb still in control of the T's. Kiyashima looking for more 1D. Waiting for the reposition, but he can't quite hit a fatal mark. Apex down to half health, and now Happy is alone. Bomb collected. NBK caught out of position, 1 versus 2. Happy tries to make a play towards the B-bomb site. Molotov in the vent, but there will be a CT by the door. No plant for Envy. 14 rounds for G2.
That was a very nice round from Apex. Low HP, but after he finds he found a few trades there, stopped a bomb plant, killed the guy who killed Mixwell, and then decided to actually go back to mini as opposed to just sitting in upper and waiting, which a lot of people would have done, and made sure that no one could lurk in. Shut down that play at a critical moment, and Envy are already on the broken buy.
Times are hard in the Envy camp. What can you even do with that info? Only scream with an AK. And it begins. Happy, look at the position he's in. Just waiting, waiting, waiting. Oh, okay. That is quite the frag, isn't it? Kirishima with a deagle shot onto Apex, stealing the kill from Happy. But now maybe something can be done. Mixwell switching out for a gun with bullets in it. Banking on somebody repositioning away from the grenade. But he manages to sit there and get the full reload in. Awkward stuff. Mixwell goes down. Do they think he's the same person? Either way, Envy win that round. This is crazy.
How on earth? Did he get stuck? Do you have to jump to get up on that? I don't know if there was no ramp there or something. That was crazy. Very awkward exchange. It's coming down to the wire. It's coming down to the wire. It's a lot of 4-subs, but it's almost, I mean, a lot of the times now it seems like it's hard to justify not. There's been enough ecos and half buys to win in this game to want to give up a chance at another one. Nova at ramp, that's particularly sketchy. Oh, they've totally evacuated it. And Envy haven't given ramp a lot of love on T side, so this is probably a really good call for them. Oh my god, they might not know about this.
CT's moving around, continuing to dual scream and winning it with the M4. Is Apex body in a great position, and oh god, Envy, not again. Kenny with the Nova. I am just waiting for it to come into play. There's one for Kirishima. Kenny opts for the CZ instead. Respectable decision. We will not see the Nova, but all kinds of crazy forces being won by G2.
Unreal. That is a really sad round. That is such a sad round for ENVYUS. They had such a good play going on. I don't know if you remember, there was that iBat Power round where Daze was talking about how Skadoodle doesn't calm very much, and he referenced a round where they all snuck through, secret down to lower and got a bomb plant in like one of the final rounds of the game. And that was a round where they might have been confused because MBK wasn't at ramp. They actually got everybody downstairs, and typically, unless you have snuck someone downstairs, that's such a difficult round to actually come back into because you've got to rotate through vents and control room. And you don't know if people are already waiting for you.
Does this commit Envy to relegation prison? I do wonder. Oh, we're not far from finding out, it seems. Again, Virtus Pro, they have 3 matches to play, and they'll probably